Salutare, this is Elena from Elena the Expat, and today I'm in Chisinau, the capital of Moldova. Rather than showing you the beauties of the city, I'm going to show you the city through the eyes of expats. We will find out where they live, how much money do they need per month, and what are the things that they enjoy about Moldova and which things not so much. So our guest for today is a wonderful American couple, Bob and Brienne. They have both been here for the last 3 months and they are teaching at the local university. Let's go meet them. So Bob, tell me about how you came to Moldova.
Well, my wife and I, we came here to be visiting professors through a program in the United States called the Fulbright Exchange Program. We did have to get health certificates, we had to get visas, which we got after we got here. And it might not be a visa, maybe it's just a residency permit.
Oh, okay.
And fortunately our program kind of funded our stay here, so that took care of the financial part of it.
What would you say would be an advice for somebody moving to Moldova? How much money they have to have on hand?
Sure. Okay. Well, it's interesting. We, I think we probably spent over $1,000 on appliances and things that, just like things we needed for our apartment was furnished, but we still needed things like a blender and things like an electric blanket for the winter and some space heaters. And my wife likes to exercise using a trampoline, a mini indoor trampoline, which we bought. So yeah, I think at least 1,000 or more, depending on what you need. These ambulances are amazing. I walk up and down this street to my university all day long.
I think you could have done the program in other countries.
Yeah,
Why Moldova?
Sure. Well, I think a lot of travelers, my wife and I included, we've been to a lot of places, but people are often looking for something you might call like a hidden gem.
Right.
Something that hasn't been discovered, something that is unique and is still very authentic. And we had come here in the summer before we arrived and got a really good feel for it and thought, let's go back there and let's spend a year there. I think the first night that we were here, we ended up in the park at Piana Vishna, and it was a beautiful summer night, and then sort of like an outdoor disco sort of erupted, and we just sort of thought, wow, this is exactly what people in America think of when they think of Europe. It's just like this great, relaxed party life.
Is it always so easy and relaxed, or you had also some difficulties here?
We really haven't had any difficulties to speak of. The winter is coming. Winter will be very difficult for everyone in Europe, especially people in Ukraine. But no, it's been a very soft, smooth landing, I would say, here.
So the other question that I have is obviously the apartment. That seems to be the most difficult part of any move. How was your apartment finding experience?
It was actually, looking back on it, it was pretty easy. We just found a website with listings of several apartments. We reached out and got in contact with a really nice realtor who showed us the one we're in now was the first one we saw, and I just decided on the spot that that's the place where we would live.
But when you came here for the first time, were you did you stay straight away in the apartment, or how did you?
No, we got a really amazing Airbnb on Stefan Chalmare, and we had it for a few weeks and could have extended if we needed to, but we kind of set ourselves a deadline. We had arrived on about August 15th. It's like, okay, let's try to sign a lease and be in a place by September 1st. And that's exactly what happened. We had considered trying to get the apartment before we arrived, but I would not recommend that. I think it was really a good idea to have the Airbnb, have a couple weeks. We wanted to see some places instead of signing a lease sight unseen.
So what are the conditions of your lease right now?
Yeah, it's a 10-month lease. I pay $1,200 a month, 1,200 euros a month in rent, plus utilities. And we'll have the apartment for 10 months. And, we could stay month to month after that if we wanted, but our grant program is over at the end of June, so we'll be leaving after that. We'll go back to the United States, and interestingly, we'll move to Las Vegas. My wife will take a assistant professor job at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. So it's going to be quite a culture shock to go from Chisinau, Moldova to Las Vegas.
Tell me like three things that are really good about the city that you really enjoy here.
Okay, three things. One, there are so many cute cafes and nice restaurants, and even when we walk through the center, which we walk through every day, it seems like there's a new little coffee spot around the corner from us. There's a new grocery store like 2 blocks from us. It's like we can hardly keep up with the energy that we find in the city center. So that's one. Okay, it's kind of got a small town vibe to it. Like I see my students when I walk around. I see people I know and I've met when I'm on the bus. Even though we've only been here a few months, we're already sort of developing a community of friends, and it was very easy for us to start making friends here. Okay, so that's 2. We love being in a place that it feels like Europe and is Europe to us. Like that's been a goal of mine since I studied abroad here in the 1980s. Not here in Moldova, but here in Europe, was to live in Europe someday. And I just feel like, okay, I'm doing it. That's where I am, and that's what I'm doing.
Which neighborhood would you recommend, let's say, for life if they want to stay long term, and which neighborhood if they're just here for 1-2 weeks as tourists?
Right. Well, okay. So in the short term, just stay in the center. It's just like you can walk everywhere within 10 or 15 minutes, which is really enjoyable. It's just such a great way to live and a great way to see things. And everywhere you walk, there's embassies, there's art museums, there's always something to see. We do have friends, other Americans we've made friends with who live in other neighborhoods, and they all, we visit them in those neighborhoods, and all those neighborhoods seem great. We definitely looked at some apartments that were not in the actual center, and
what would be the difference per month? You pay 1,200.
We looked at a really nice apartment that was like 600 euros a month.
Oh, so twice cheaper.
Yeah. It was half as much, and it was not far. Like, I still would have been making that walk. My wife has a bus pass. She could have easily done the bus, but I don't even want to be on the bus. I like the bus. The bus is convenient. The bus is cool and warm in the winter, but I'd rather just be on foot. Mm-hmm. So I'm not even biking here, which is how I mainly get around in my own city.
By the way, there's a really cool video of Bob biking in Belarus. I'm gonna link it in the comments down below. You have to watch it, it's amazing. That's one of the first videos that I saw with Bob, and how I decided to invite him to have this little chat on my channel. Bună ziua! 3 cappuccino, vă rog. So we are in this beautiful park. Is this something that you also have in the US, like just sitting, relaxing in the park?
Certainly not in my town very much. We have parks in our inner city core, but park life, hanging out in parks is fairly rare. So when we saw this here last summer, we were immediately attracted to it and just thought, this is a place we should think about staying in.
You have so much interaction with the people at the university, both students and other professors. What are Moldovans like?
It's a country of people in motion. They're either about to go somewhere, or they just got back from somewhere, or their parents are somewhere or going somewhere. It's just everybody I talk to seems to be moving around to other countries and exploring opportunities, seeking opportunities, taking advantage of opportunities. I just woke up this morning to see on Instagram one of my students just arrived in Georgia for a very short-term Erasmus Plus program. And others of my students, like, they're gone for a week or two, and then you see on Instagram they're in another country doing some mobility program. So really, I just think the word that sums up the whole student experience here is mobility.
Tell me a bit about the language, because I know that you don't really speak Romanian. How do you make do?
It's a surprising number of people who talk to us, answer us in English. And I don't just mean like young people in college and just storekeepers, but, just even earlier today, I was approached by a man who who wanted some money, and I was just like, I'm sorry, I don't speak English. And so he switched from Romanian to English and was asking me for money in English. And I just thought that's so great. And I'm never surprised by just everyone who can speak a little bit of English to me. The complex opened on August 31st, 2004. So every year on August 31st, they have a big party. So the day we moved in, we got to meet so many of our neighbors, one of whom teaches at the Pedagogical University with me, and just others, one from Belarus.
Yeah.
So we've got to make some friends with some of our neighbors.
Let's go see the
Okay,
apartment.
yeah, sure. There's all these balconies. You know, balconies are not really a thing in the United States, but every apartment I've been in Europe always has balconies. And we have 2 balconies, which we sort of don't know what to do with. Like, we don't know how to use those as part of our life.
Brianne, I heard so many beautiful words about you from Bob. Just tell us a little bit about what you do here in Moldova.
Sure, yeah. So I'm here as a Fulbright scholar. I'm at university, the State University of Moldova, and am conducting a research project related to gender-based violence in social media, and teaching courses related to social work. Well, this is the sort of corridor foyer area with tons of.
Very spacious.
Yeah. We were. It was surprising to us how much. You can see here, there's so much. Closet space. Sorry, that's a dirty closet. But in this room over here, we have sort of a spare room where we do some work here. There's an office.
What about this? I have to ask. What are you doing on that?
This is something we bought. Yeah, it was one of the first things I wanted to buy because it brings me so much joy, and it's fun. And you just sort of can't help but smile when you're jumping on it. You want to have a try?
Okay, I'll do it. Do not bluff. Oh, that's actually that's.
What do you think?
Nice. No, I understand what you said about it gives you energy. It does give you energy.
Yeah, so everything was here. The chairs, the even where we fold our laundry.
The stretcher.
The desk, our bed, the tables and chairs in the kitchen. I don't know if you would like to see our sort of dining room, living room.
Let's have a look.
This was all really bedroom, this living room, that room we just showed you, and the kitchen. And then we have 2 bathrooms, a shower, toilet, everything is in here. And then same with the other one. It's just a little bit bigger.
That's really nice. And what about this? Is this the kitchen?
This is the kitchen. Come on in.
Ooh, this is nice.
Also very spacious. So much cupboard space. There's also a little. We have a little balcony type sort of area. It's a little cold, but very nice view of Chisinau.
It is true. It is amazing. What's with the chestnuts, though?
These things?
Yes.
I'm from Ohio. There's a tradition at Ohio State University to make necklaces out of these. And so we collected a bunch and are intending to do an activity with some
students,
teach them about football culture and university life in Ohio.
So every month we have to pay for all of the utilities: water, electricity, gas, internet, and we have an association fee that we have to pay. And so the water is, let's say, $10 a month. The internet is not quite $10 a month. The electricity would be about $30 or $40 a month. The gas could it's $50 a month now. It could be $100 or $150 a month. We don't know what it's going to be in the winter. And then our association fee is $25 a month. And so I guess we're kind of budgeting about $150 a month, but keeping in the back of our minds that in December, January, and February, it could be $200 or $250 a month.
Brian, tell us about life here in Moldova through your perspective. Obviously, you're so far away from friends, family. Is that a problem here? How is it to make friends?
For me, it's in general can be a challenge to make friends at this age, no matter where I am, I think, because I tend to be more of an introvert. When I can interact with people in English, then they're very much, I think, very open to interacting. There's also some other Fulbrighters here in the country in different areas, and we've been staying in touch with each other and making, looking after each other, sort of.
I know that you're an introvert, but surely you do something in your free time. What do you like to do here?
Explore the different neighborhoods and see the architecture. So I tend to go most often to Coffee Maker. It's my favorite because they play sort of blues music and have lots of green plants and have delicious coffee. Toro Burger, because I like burgers without the bun. And there's a Georgian restaurant that we really love, that I love their food, saparavi? Saparavi, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you find here all the dishes that you want to find? Do you have any food restrictions and you've been struggling with? Are you eating, meat? Like, how's been food generally here in Moldova for you?
A couple things. So one, I do have some food restrictions. I can't have dairy or gluten. So that has been a challenge because I didn't know when I first arrived that most often it doesn't say like that there will be cheese included. So I was ordering things and like French fries had cheese on top, or like a salad had cheese. Dairy substitute, like vegan dairy substitute items in this country compared to what you can find in the US. And so that my options, I think, are more limited, but the fruits and vegetables here are so delicious.
So
to be
tell me
honest.
about that. Like,
Yeah.
how much a meal at a canteen style, would cost for two? And what about a dinner, for a more fancy dinner for two in a restaurant?
At the lunch counter, for two of us to have each have a big plate of food is usually maybe $5 US total. If it's a really fancy, like Sisters, probably like $30 to $40, I think. And then something less fancy, maybe closer to $20 total, but like still like a sit-down restaurant with someone waiting on you and a glass of wine and a dessert.
Is there anything at all that you miss about home being here in Moldova?
I very much miss international cuisines. Like in Ohio, for example, we have very authentic and delicious like Chinese food, Indian food, Mexican food, Vietnamese, Thai, like so many different options. And we have found that there's not that very much of that here in Moldova. At the mall, there was a Mexican restaurant, for example, but it was not very authentic Mexican food. But in terms like spicy Chinese food and Thai food, I really miss that.